Yeah, when you're reading a book, the reason why is because the reason why I take notes when I'm reading the book, for one, you want to be able to store that information because it's important information. So you want to be able to always go back to it. That's one. Two, writing. When you write notes, subconsciously, you begin to memorize what you read through writing it. So it stays with you. It sticks with you. That's why you see when I write my poems, I write them like on normal sheets over and over and over and over again, and before you know it, I learn it. I think that's even more effective. I mean, it's effective to record it and listen to it. That's one way. But I think writing it over and over, which is the reason why back in the day, they used to make kids write on a chalkboard. I will not fight. I will not talk in your class. You know what I'm saying? So you can remember it. So subconsciously. So that's one of the ways I was able to, actually learn about Les Brown. So what I did when I read, I take notes. And what I do when I read, I take notes. All right. So this is my transformation in prison. I would read and take notes, and things I would want to remember, I would put it on a checklist. So when I'm reading, this is how I read. I have a book. That I have the notepad I'm taking notes from, and then I have blank paper for things I want to remember to check out. So what I would do, this I was reading Jack Canfield. Jack Canfield was like, one of the great speakers, Les Brown. Check out Les Brown. Go back to reading. Quote. Here is a nice quote. I jot it down. Write something important. I jot it down. Later on, I go to my checklist. I have a time to do the checklist, and I would be like, check out Les Brown. You know what I'm saying? Or Jack Canfield would be like, he would refer to a book. So whatever book he would refer to, I write it down to get that book. If he said he read a book, I want to get the book that he read. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a great man. So he used to talk about Napoleon Hill all the time. He said he got to where he got by reading Napoleon Hill. So I want to read Napoleon Hill too. Because you're helping me get to where I want to. So I want to read about Napoleon Hill too. And when I read Napoleon Hill books, he used to talk about Henry Ford. He spoke about Rockefeller. But I know other things about these people that's not so positive. But I'm not worried about the not so positive things that Rockefeller did or what they did. You know what I'm saying? I'm worried about their genius, their success. You know what I'm saying? Because history repeats itself. If you could go back in history and see what they did to be successful, you could do the same thing. Mm-hmm. So you gotta be dissected. He did that, okay, I'm gonna do it too. Only after you go do it, if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work for you. But you can't knock it if you didn't try it. Exactly. He said, in Jack Canfield's book, he said, this book, if you want it to work for you, Napoleon Hill says the same thing. If you want this book to work for you, you have to be willing to do everything I say to do in the book.
And why wouldn't you listen?
But the egotistic person's like, nah, I don't gotta do this. Nah.
Because they know a better way.
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
So what I did everything Jack Canfield said to do in the book. If I felt tired that day, I wouldn't do it. Because I want to be energized when I'm doing it. So I wouldn't do it that day.
But then you should still do it even when you're tired.
No. I would put it aside. When I'm energized, I go back to it and do it.
Okay, so you can give it your full.
Yeah, full. Because he's giving you lessons. I'm not gonna do a lesson when I'm tired. Because sometimes when you're reading, you're tired, you don't really grasp what you're reading. You're just trying to get it over the...
Yeah, just to say you read it.
Just finish the chapter.
Yeah.
I don't like to read like that. The minute I start to feel tired when I'm reading, I stop reading. Because I want to be able to grasp everything that's in the book. You know what I'm saying? For it to work through me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I would end up reading Jack Canfield book 16. Habit is everything.
Yeah.
If you do that with that, chances are you're gonna do that with
everything. Cut it off and do it later.
So that was one of my secrets to changing my habits. Small things like that. Yo, at one point when I was doing, I still do it now. If I'm reading something, I don't know the words, look it up right there.
Me too.
Not later. Right there. It's not you don't want to, you just want to continue reading. Well, I think I know it. I really do see that. You know how you're reading a book, you turn the page, and after you write notes and boom, and you probably highlight the page. Because the page, You go right here, look. Okay, it's right there. The Kindle, I tried it before. I bought like a, you know how you could get a free 2 chapters of a book before you purchase it? I read a book like that. And I didn't really like it. But for the kids that's coming up right now, they won't feel the same way because that's how they're coming up. So they're already,
Technology.
I like to have the physical book
Right there.
right and take notes.